Hello there, everybody. It is I, Big King Badger, back again with another roundup of some games I absolutely love. What we're looking at today are 3 games which I absolutely love. That are so bad they are good. These games I am going to be showing them on the Xbox 360, but all 3 are available on the PS3 as well. So not quite retro, but still much loved by myself and hopefully you guys as well. So the first game that I have available to show you is 50 Cent Blood on the Sand. Now, this game is absolutely over the top ridiculous. It's a third-person shooter where you play as my main man, 50 Cent. Yo. In the game, 50 Cent is doing a charity gig at a nondescript Arabic country, and he is promised that for payment he will get a diamond encrusted skull, and instantly straight away he is betrayed by the man that was going to promise him this diamond encrusted skull, and it is all about 50 Cent looking to get paid for what happens, and get revenge on those that have betrayed you and wronged you. The game, like I say, is a third-person shooter. Essentially, it's a very arcadey one, which is very similar to Gears of War. So it's a really fast-paced one, and the main thing is as well that you can have drop in and out co-op with other players, and they play as other members of Fiddy's crew. Please note the gangster that I'm going there, so thank you very much. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's so over the top. It almost goes into a parody, a joke. I don't know whether that was intentional because of how ridiculous it is, but the game itself is absolutely hilarious. And actually, the gameplay is not that bad. That's the crazy thing about it, that it's ridiculous, over the top, silly, yet the gameplay is pretty solid. If you do like your third-person, action games, it's very fast-paced, as I say. So if you've ever played a game called The Club, published by Sega, which also came out on the 360 and PS3, which is a third-person shooter as well, which is very arcadey and very fast-paced. It has a very similar feel to that game, but that's the top one that I would very much recommend. It also features a soundtrack by 50 Cent, so whether that's a plus or a minus, that's completely up to yourself, but absolutely ridiculous, dirt cheap as well, and absolutely brilliant, so please check it out. I urge you to do that. And if anyone ever wants to play it online with this one, hook me up, let me know, and give me a shout, and I will be in your crew while we do it. So, the next one I have, which is probably the more well-known of the so bad it's good genre, is Deadly Premonition. In this game, I have no idea how best to start and describe it. It is an open-world survival horror type game that's also a surreal comedy. The controls are bad, the graphics look terrible, it's so surreal and bizarre, but somehow it works and it's phenomenal. So in the game you play as a FBI agent tasked to going to a small town. He's on the hunt for a serial killer, and the killer seems to have struck in this small town. The raincoat killer is the guy that you're looking for. The town itself, and quite rightly so as well, is modelled after Twin Peaks. If you've ever seen that TV show, which is a very strange, bizarre TV show, the game is made to be an homage and a reference to Twin Peaks, which is mainly from the early 90s, TV show to watch out for, so that's always one to recommend as well. But in this, the reason why it's bizarre and strange is because, one, the music, like Twin Peaks, can go from operatic drama, tension, to weird, chilled out jazz. The FBI agent that you play as looks at his cup of coffee in the morning to read his fortune. He has a I don't want to say an invisible friend, but he talks to someone called Zach, and that Zach is seen as you, the player. He talks to you. So one of the key ones is an open world game. I'm there driving from A to B, and FBI agent Morgan, which is the character's name, will randomly talk to me about Back to the Future, and if I've seen Back to the Future, and then we'll start dropping in random bits of trivia about Back to the Future and other films. It's so weird. You just think, what the hell is going on? And yeah, you can even, go around, running around collecting playable cards. You can go fishing if you want to, be friends with people. There are so many different elements to this game. It's absolutely weird. And then, yeah, when you look to go into the main story levels, they can be, areas such as the police station or a park. And they're more similar to something like Silent Hill or old school Resident Evil. But it is absolutely incredible. You need to play this game. Everyone should play it. Is my simple answer to that. Like I say, it's a comedy. It is a horror. It is absolutely bizarre. So please check it out. Like I say, it is available for the PS3 as well, in more of like a director's cut. But please, I urge you, check this game out. The ending is absolutely amazing, incredible, and intense. I didn't realise just how clever and smart it could be, the ending, and the actual story and how it's made up. So please check it out. Everything kind of makes sense in the game, although it's nice when it doesn't. But please check out Deadly Premonition. It is absolutely phenomenal. It is so bad it's good. So please, I'm going to shake it like that. Please check this game out. It is probably one of my all-time favourite games. When I first played through this, it left such an impression on me, and I urge everyone, check it out. The last one, last but not least, a little bit more controversial, I would probably say, is Iron Man. For the 360. It came out on absolutely everything else, but mainly I'm going to be looking at the 360 and the PS3 version of this. Because there are some really clever, nice ideas. Yes, the game is rushed, has very weird, not very great graphics, but I really, really love games like Ace Combat and things like that. And in this game, there are not a lot of levels, but they are very, very open world. And very open-ended as to how you do it. So you have in each level a series of objectives and sub-objectives, and then how you go about them is up to you. So playing as Iron Man, you can run around, but mainly you can fly around and do the objectives in whatever order you see fit. It's a generic third-person action shooter. But one of the key things that I think is really, really great in this, and it is so bad it's good, because one, the missions are really open-ended, it's pretty cool and funky, but the main thing that I think didn't get picked up on with this game is that during the missions, you have the option of regulating your energy levels. So, say for argument's sake, you're in a fight, you can direct more power to your shields, or you can direct more power to your weapons, or if you need to be involved in a high-speed chase and shoot down some rockets, you can actually put power in the speed, which will then decrease the stats of other things. So it's a nice little thing, and you can do that on the fly with the D-pad. So I would really recommend picking it up, because I think it's one of those that has some really nice, cool little elements to it. And yeah, the game's not great overall, but it's some really nice, interesting things. Like the energy output, I really wish they would have expanded on that in the sequel. But unfortunately, the sequel is just very, very generic. And pretty bog standard. It is a little open-ended, but not quite as open-ended as this. This one that I have looks a little bit different, as it is the steelbook version of the game as well. So that's why it may look different if you ever see it in the shops. But it does have some of the voice cast from the actual film as well. And as a little nice cheeky little bit of trivia, if you have a copy of The Incredible Hulk on the 360 as well, which is a pretty cool open-ended game where you play as the Hulk, if you have a save file for that game, this game will then recognise that, and it will actually give you an exclusive suit which will be unlocked within the game as well, and vice versa for the Incredible Hulk. So, a long time before Avengers Age of Ultron, if you have Iron Man and you play the Incredible Hulk game, it will unlock the Hulk Buster costume. So that came out because it's from the comics, so they really wanted to go to town. And that's another thing with this game as well. If you're a fan of Iron Man, it has a lot of the different suits that appear in the Iron Man comic book series as well. So I absolutely really like it. It's a rough around the edges kind of game, but I really recommend picking it up and having a look at. Now, the reason why I've picked these 3 games, so we have Iron Man, we have Deadly Premonition, must play, and then we also have my main man 50 Cent, is that all these are so bad they're good, and especially in terms of 50 Cent and Iron Man, I'm fairly sure you'll be able to pick them up relatively cheap. With Deadly Premonition, I would say cheapish, but the main thing is that a lot of people are aware that it is so bad it's good. Do I think it's still worth the price? 100%. I really urge everyone to pick it up and have a look into it because it is absolutely phenomenal. So thank you very much for joining me, guys. Let me know your games that are so bad they're good, and please shout out in the comments what you believe, what you think to my 3. If you've played them, what you think of them, and let's get a discussion going. I would absolutely love to speak to you guys in the comments and really start some conversations in regards to these. So I have been Big King Badger. Thank you very much for watching this little cheeky list of mine in no specific order, although Deadly Premonition is probably absolutely one of the best games ever. And I will enjoy seeing you again next time, guys. Thank you very much, and goodbye.